Breaking news: in a landmark case that has sent shockwaves through South Africa's law enforcement and transportation sectors, 26 Zimbabwean nationals have been convicted of a massive copper cable theft operation targeting Transnet, the country's state-owned freight rail company. The scale of the crime is staggering, with the total value of stolen copper cables and infrastructure damage amounting to a whopping R9.1 million. The convicted individuals ranging in age from 23 to 53. The list of convicted individuals reads like a roll call of infamy. At the top of the list is William Scythel, aged 41, followed by Alfred Dlamini, the eldest of the group at 53 years old. The youngest among them, Tena Shobiling, is just 23 years old, underscoring the wide age range of those involved in this criminal enterprise. Other notable names on the list include Givenis Simang, Timothy Masocha, and Isa Chingao, all aged 41. The Chingao family seems to have a significant presence in this criminal operation, with Maxwell Chingao, aged 32, also among the convicted. The group also includes Ernest Malati, Bongani Shabalala, and Humphreys Everhu, whose ages range from 25 to 33. Thabinash Malambo and Ferre Dube, both 29, were also implicated in the crime, along with Luis Chivo, 32, and Munyaradzi Shava, 25. The list continues with Gibson Makumaya, Ian Kodzai, and Onsimor Maroom, whose ages span from 24 to 36. Silas Ngwenya, Shadrach Koza, and Arcido Anibal Nongam were also convicted, with Nongam being one of the older members of the group at 34. Rounding out the list are Sinathembadim, Obey Mashaba, Edmund Du, Tefatso Masia, Thomas Mashaba, and Anton Duvhawa. The ages of these individuals range from 24 to 41, with Duvhawa being one of the eldest at 41 years old. The conviction of these 26 individuals represents a significant victory for South African law enforcement and Transnet. The case has shed light on the organized nature of copper cable theft in the country, a crime that has long been a thorn in the side of infrastructure development and maintenance. The theft of copper cables is not just a matter of financial loss. It has far-reaching consequences that affect the daily lives of millions of South Africans. When copper cables are stolen from railway lines, it can lead to significant delays and disruptions in the transportation of goods and people. This, in turn, has a ripple effect on the economy, affecting businesses, commuters, and the overall efficiency of the country's logistics network. Moreover, the damage caused to infrastructure during these thefts often far exceeds the value of the stolen copper. The conviction of these 26 individuals sends a strong message to other potential criminals engaged in similar activities. It demonstrates that law enforcement agencies are becoming increasingly effective in tracking down and prosecuting those involved in organized cable theft operations. However, the case also raises questions about border control and immigration policies. The fact that all 26 convicted individuals are Zimbabwean nationals has sparked debates about the need for stricter border controls and more rigorous vetting of foreign nationals entering the country. The successful prosecution of this case is likely the result of extensive investigation and cooperation between various law enforcement agencies. It may have involved sophisticated surveillance techniques, informant networks, and forensic analysis to build a case strong enough to secure convictions for all 26 individuals. As news of this conviction spreads, it is likely to have a deterrent effect on other criminal groups considering similar operations. However, it also highlights the need for continued vigilance and investment in security measures to protect critical infrastructure from such attacks. The sentencing phase of the trial is eagerly anticipated, with many calling for harsh penalties to serve as a further deterrent. The judge will have to consider various factors, including the scale of the crime, the level of organization involved, and the significant economic impact of their actions. This case may also prompt calls for legislative changes to impose even stricter penalties for crimes targeting critical infrastructure. Some argue that the current legal framework does not adequately reflect the severity and far-reaching consequences of such crimes. For Transnet, this conviction represents a vindication of their efforts to combat cable theft. However, it also underscores the ongoing challenges they face in securing their vast network of railway lines and other infrastructure against determined criminal elements. In the wake of this conviction, there will likely be renewed focus on preventative measures. This could include increased physical security at vulnerable points along railway lines, the use of advanced surveillance technology, and perhaps even the exploration of alternative materials that could replace copper in certain applications, making theft less attractive. The conviction of these 26 individuals is undoubtedly a significant victory in the fight against infrastructure crime in South Africa. However, it is clear that this is just one battle in an ongoing war. As criminals become more sophisticated in their methods, law enforcement and infrastructure companies must continue to evolve their strategies to stay one step ahead. As South Africa grapples with the challenges of economic development and infrastructure maintenance, cases like this serve as a stark reminder of the obstacles that must be overcome. The hope is that this conviction will mark a turning point in the fight against copper cable theft, leading to a more secure and reliable infrastructure network that can support the country's growth and development aspirations. In the coming days and weeks, all eyes will be on the court as it prepares to hand down sentences to these 26 convicted individuals. The outcome of this sentencing phase will be closely watched, not just in South Africa, but across the region, as other countries grapple with similar challenges. Whatever the final sentences may be, this case has already made history as one of the largest and most significant copper cable theft convictions in South African history.